Our SEC football preview continues. We're going to talk about the LSU Tigers with Matt Boudreaux of NBC 33 in Baton Rouge. And Matt, it's been an interesting SEC football media days. A&M getting a lot of attention, obviously, for Johnny Manziel. Alabama is going to come in as the defending national champs. You think LSU kind of feels like they're being forgotten maybe a little bit more than they have in the past?
Well, I don't think LSU's ever going to be forgotten when you have Les Miles. And you know, there's some of the comments he makes here at the media days and gets people kind of riled up. But, yeah, maybe flying under the radar a little bit more so this year than they did in years, at least the last 2 years. So maybe they use that to their advantage and kind of, you know, stay low-key and let the Alabama and the Texas A&M talk, and they sneak up on them. And that's, I think, the hope for that team.
I guess big story, unfortunately, off the field, Jeremy Hill, running back. Well, what do you see maybe happening there? I mean, it's kind of up in the air right now, obviously, but will the running back position be okay there at LSU?
Well, let's just say, and of course we're just speculating here, if he's out for the year, there's a tremendous amount of depth back there and talent that we've seen play at LSU. You have Alfred Blue, Kenny Hilliard, who have both proven themselves on the field. Unfortunately for them, Jeremy Hill emerged and kind of put them in the back seat. So there's a lot of talent there. You also have a guy in Terrence McGee who's waited his turn, and there's an incoming freshman in Gerald Brazil who has world-class speed, who could play a part there if they keep him on offense. He could be a DB. But yeah, you'll know a lot more. August 16th is the court date for his probation hearing from his previous run-in with the law. So it's been a bad situation when your star player, star running back's in trouble with the law, and it's kind of become a recurring theme for our third straight year now in Baton Rouge.
Let's talk about the offense as a whole. What do you see LSU coming back? You know, what's going to be kind of the strength, maybe the weakness of that side of the ball?
Yeah, you know, with the addition of Cam Cameron as LSU's offensive coordinator, I think that's maybe works to their advantage in terms, at least early on, not really having a whole lot of game plan to scout from the opposing side. It's all going to depend on Zach Mettenberger, though, at the quarterback position. He came in and he was perhaps his expectations that the media and everyone around him put on him were too high. But I think he's got a year under his belt in the SEC. He's got to have a quicker time clock in his head and get the ball off quicker, but he has the weapons around him, not only at running back, but at the receiver position as well. Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham are two targets he's used to throwing to. So this offense could be potentially better, and it should be. It ranked 85th in the country last year, which I think a lot of LSU fans were very disappointed about.
Talk about the defense. What do you see coming back there? Obviously, that's been a strength of LSU for so long, and with the quarterbacks that you see in the SEC West and that sort of stuff, Les Miles and his crew always seem to have things figured out, and defensively, it should be strong again.
Yeah, you would think so. Now, they did lose a lot of players to the NFL. You lose Eric Reed, you lose Kevin Minter at linebacker, Barkevius Mingo, and a list of others who are now playing professional football. So they like to call it reloading, not rebuilding, and there's some young, talented guys waiting there in the wings. So I think the defense, there could be a part in this season where the offense may need to carry the defense a little bit more than it's been the opposite way with such a strong defense. But John Chavis is a great defensive coordinator. He's been in the SEC. He knows the league. And I think that eventually this defense will come around, and there's talent there. They just maybe need to get their feet wet, so to speak.
How do you see the schedule playing out? You know, crossover games, that sort of thing. And then A&M later in the season, A&M has to go to Baton Rouge. I know that's a game Aggies are kind of looking at too.
Yeah, LSU schedule is absolutely brutal. You look at the opening contest against TCU in Cowboy Stadium. You have to go across to the eastern side and play Georgia on the road. That's going to be tough. LSU's permanent opponent from the east is Florida, so that's obviously tough. Then you play Alabama. Texas A&M's a big one. I think that a lot of LSU fans have circled on their calendar just to have the Heisman Trophy winner coming into their home stadium just to see what he's got. And you know, A&M's obviously done well so far. We'll see how they stack up in year two, and I think that's a pretty big matchup, at least on the home front. Of course, going to Alabama is always exciting for LSU as well.
Matt, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck this season. Should be a fun one. I know a lot of Aggie fans really looking forward to that trip to Baton Rouge. Any places they need to definitely hit up there?
Yeah, there's plenty of them. Go ahead and Google it, if you will, because there's a lot. But, yeah, no doubt you'll have a great time, and there's the good people down there will feed you if you don't want to go to the restaurants.
Sounds great, and we'll throw it back over to Dan.